Stray Topics Podcast. I'm Abe Walker, and I'm here with Troy the Fossil.
What's up?
And Eddie the Millennial.
Howdy, partner.
We still haven't come up with a name for me for some reason.
Electric Lips.
Static Lips.
Static boy.
I tell you, that does happen a lot to me for some reason. I'm not sure why. But today, anyways...
Senile wart.
Senile wart.
Senile wart, that's funny. They're going to love that one. Yeah. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about Apple versus Android.
Oh, the Apple versus Android debacle.
Yeah.
So first, who's all going to be iPhone Pro? Or iPhone or Apple? Whatever.
Who's going to be, you mean, on Apple? Who's going to be on Android?
Yeah. He's going to have a phone
there
that
ain't
works.
but one person in here going to be on the Android. And it's the most retarded person in the room.
Thanks, Troy. That means a lot.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Who's going to have a phone that actually works?
Us, not you.
Thanks, man.
Look at him. He's having trouble.
I'm operating my Android phone at this present moment, and it's giving me all the answers that I've ever asked.
And it's taking its sweet time getting there.
Anyways, a lot of people, prefer Apple products. A lot of people prefer Android products because some of it's cheap, and I think cost has a lot to do with why people like certain ones and that kind of stuff. I mean, Android's very, well, it depends. I mean, there are some high-end Android devices out there, but cost-wise, usually Apple is a little more expensive, usually.
Yeah,
it is.
Yes and no, but I think some of the new Samsung devices are just as expensive, if not maybe more expensive than some of the Apple devices.
Samsung's kind of an anomaly on the Android platform because it's almost like it could be Samsung versus Apple instead of Android, you know what I mean? Because even though they're Android, they're well more known than Android is.
You got all the other makers that make the Android phones, LG, Motorola, and they're really good brands. But Samsung seems to be, when you think of Android, you seem to think of Samsung.
And they have a lot of devices out there. A lot of people own them.
That's true.
And then, you got the Pixel, which is pure Android.
Which is pure
Android.
Android.
Have that weird Touch Wiz or whatever that new...
No overlays.
Yeah. So... we're going to debate both of them, and I'll be honest with you, either one is fine.
Oh yeah, it's what you prefer.
They both will do things, and some, and some one. Android will do some things that Apple want, and Apple will do some things that Android want.
Yeah, that's true.
But in the end game, they both do the same thing. They both pretty much
make phone calls, which is kind of crazy. They're like small computers in your pocket.
It's amazing.
We used to buy PCs all the time. Buying laptops, buying computers because we wanted the latest and greatest, and now it's turned into phones.
Well, one time I was fussing about the cost of these things, but then I got to thinking about it. Somebody mentioned it to me. They said, "Well, you have in your pocket a thing that a few years ago wouldn't have even been
fit in a room."
Yeah, it wouldn't even fit in this room.
Yeah, I think the hard drives were as big as a room.
And so to have these things, and I understand why they're a little bit more expensive. Now are they overpriced? Absolutely.
Yes.
But I understand why they are expensive.
Even Android, even Samsung for that matter, they're all overpriced.
Yes.
Well, see, you got, like me and Abe was looking at the new PS5 and the new Xbox coming out, and they're labeled around $500 to $500, something like that. And you got these cell phones, which are smaller. Now I'm talking about these new Xboxes. They have the new, the new cards and things like that in it. And you got these phones at Apple and Android, and they're
twice as much.
Yeah, they're twice as much, and they're smaller, and I don't know, just don't make sense.
But they can do more, I think.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, as far as
and they're addictive. These things are very addictive. Phones, people can't drive without touching their phone.
That's true. It's against the law now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They still do it. I see them doing it every day.
Yeah.
You go to a restaurant and there'll be a family sitting at the restaurant table of 4 people
texting each other,
and they'll all be looking at their darn phones. Yeah. It's we can't go in the United States, and that's all I can speak about. I don't know anything about anywhere, but anyway, in the places that I visit, people can't go 5 minutes without looking at a screen.
You're right.
Either a phone,
I'm one of them, unfortunately.
Either a phone, a computer, a tablet, the actual TV itself.
Yep.
We are always looking at a screen.
Oh, yeah.
Always. All day long, every day.
It always seems like there's always two that's going against each other. You got politicians, Republicans, Democrats. You got, in phones, you got, or excuse me, not phones, but carriers. You got Verizon and AT&T, and then you got Android versus iPhone.
There always has to be a competitor. There always has to, because if it was just one, if it's just Android or if it's just iPhone, then we think they're expensive now.
Yeah.
They kind of keep each other in check, but they also play off each other too.
Oh, yeah.
The problem that we run into...
One raises the price, then the other
goes right up. That's right.
The problem we run into is, it's hard to get, like you said, you do get the Pixel that comes in there, but it's hard to see other things because everybody's already either... they're going iOS or they're going Android. It's just one of those choices that they usually will pick from.
Which I think it's kind of funny because Android gets compared to Apple, and it's not really...
It's apples and oranges, really. You can take the apple, and then Android would be the orange. They're hard to compare. Yes, they do the same things, but the OSs are totally different.
But Apple's a company, and Android is on lots of different things, not just phones.
That's a very valid point. Android is basically Google's operating system for phones, for mobile devices. Mm-hmm. And Apple is Apple,
right?
And they're sandboxed. Pretty much. They do their own thing, and you play in their sandbox. you crap in their kitty litter sandbox, or you don't crap.
That's true.
That's why a lot of Android people don't like them.
Yeah.
They want to be able to customize. They want to be able to have freedom to do things, to download. And so we'll get into that a little bit more. Well, control versus non-controlled.
Yeah.
Apple is more controlled.
It's locked down.
It is locked down. Yeah. You do what Apple says, and that's all you will do. Yep. Android is uncontrolled. Now, there's good and bad.
Yeah. Can I get my input on this real quick?
Absolutely. Sure, go ahead. Lay it on us.
So, I'm going to throw a Star Wars.
It's going to suck, rather.
Star Wars reference is coming out. Yeah. Go ahead and throw it out there, buddy. Yeah. Star Wars. So, this is how I view... this is how I...
Okay, you're supposed to let him get it out at least.
At least let me get it. Okay. So this is how I view it, okay? You're going to let the millennials speak?
Well, we really don't want you to.
I've got some good stuff.
Right, really, you probably don't.
You're talking about control versus not control.
I'm not sure this is going to make any sense.
This is going to make 100%
I'm going to have to edit
sense.
This out.
But, okay, so you've got a Star Wars reference here.
Oh, Lord. You shouldn't have told him before you said it.
So, anyways, see, I'm going to beat you because you ain't going to let me talk.
Okay, go ahead. Go.
Okay. So, you've got iPhone, iOS.
I'm sure it's the dark side.
It's the empire.
Yes.
Because it's controlled. You do as we say or you don't get to do it at all. You just said that, right?
That's true.
So you've fallen to the dark side. And then you've got the freedom fighters. You got the rebels, which are the Android users, which get the freedom to do what they want and to live their lives and live it peacefully instead of lived in a cage all their life. Everybody that's an iPhone.
Hallelujah. Yeah, but that cage is very nice on the Apple side.
You got like a TV and things in there?
Yeah, you got everything, man. You can do everything.
You can do what you want, but your cage crashes half the damn time.
But they do control you. They control what you look at.
I'd rather be controlled and it work than to be uncontrolled, and I'm not real sure if the thing's going to boot or not.
Now let's go ahead. Let's fix the whole thing because you both actually don't just love iPhone. You do like Android too.
I do.
I
have nothing against
You like to come out of that cage every so often and see what the fresh air, like what it smells like and what light looks like. So
I have nothing against Android, but I will say, and I don't care. I'll argue this point with anybody. I know for a fact that the apps and the OS on the Apple, when it's not in beta,
right? Yeah, which you keep your phone.
Which I keep my phone all the time. But I know that the Apple phone with its apps and its operating system outperform and outwork the Android every day, all day.
When I worked at Charter, I had two guys. One was Android, one was iPhone or iOS, And sure enough, man, they about got heated. They were getting heated.
Yeah, people will fight over this. Yeah, it's like religion. It's crazy.
It's brand loyalty.
It is, and I have to say, I get a little bit torqued when people start putting down the fruit.
Yeah,
aggravates me because I am pro Apple. If anybody knows me, man, I'm as big an Apple fan as they is.
You do complain a lot when it comes to like on your laptop and stuff. Man, this ain't an Apple. This ain't the whatever you. I don't know. I don't have Apple. So.
I'm pro.
Kevin, I'll fight him that because I don't know.
Eddie, you don't like apples?
But no, I do. I do like.
You like it. It tempts you. It is the dark side.
Eat the apple, Eddie.
Listen, take a bite. I do want to be a Sith Lord.
Here we go again.
But what's funny is Abe had bought a laptop similar to Troy, which
exactly
is
the same as mine, a Razer, which is a PC.
And he liked it pretty good.
PC standing for piece of crap.
But he didn't like one thing on it.
The shift key.
And then I walk in today to do this podcast, and sure enough, he's got a brand new laptop, and it's a MacBook Pro. And
absolutely.
I kid you not. It looks beautiful.
It's fabulous.
Yeah. It is nice. I'm not fond of the phone so much as I am. I do like the MacBooks. I do like Apple type stuff. So
listen, Apple makes great products, but I'm not going to hack on the Android OS. Now we're talking Apple product or a product versus an operating system. That's totally, you can't even compare that. So we got to get back on the operating systems.
Right.
Yeah.
Not talk about the actual makers, the Samsungs and all that. We got to talk about what do you like about iOS versus Android.
You know the thing though that really drives me crazy is you see a lot of these people have these $100 phones, and don't get me wrong, I know $100 is a lot of money. It is a lot of money to some people.
It's a lot of money to me.
I mean, but you'll see them on these phones, and they friggin' freeze up all the time, and it takes forever to do something on it. And I think that hurts Android.
It does, and that's the thing that Apple would never allow.
Yeah, that's true.
Apple will put out a cheaper phone, but the OS that they put on it is virtually the same OS as is running on any of the phones.
Absolutely.
And the hardware will be a little bit lower. But then again, Apple, controlling that industry, will put out hardware that can handle that OS. Right. It may not be as snappy and as fast and as fluid, but it won't ever hiccup and hang and act crazy.
Right. The only downfall, I guess, would be is with Apple is, as far as not vendor.
Say something.
Not vendor, but like, not supported apps by Apple, like if it's a different company trying to come in, of course it's hard to get their stuff, but it's hard to get stuff to work outside of Apple unless it's, been tested inside.
Well, Apple tests everything.
Which I get.
When you, and that's the thing that I love about the whole Apple ecosystem.
Yeah.
Apple, you're a programmer, and I'm sure programmers may not like this, but it is the way it is.
It is tough.
You're a programmer, you put out an app, it's not going straight to the App Store.
No,
it's just not going there. It's going to Apple first. They're going to test it. They're going to put it on their phones, their cheap phones, their most expensive phones. Yep. They're going to put it on all of them. They're going to run the test the crap out of it, and they're going to make sure that app is going to run.
Yeah.
And then once they're sure that it's going to run and you've done all the work that you need to do on your side, they'll put it in the App Store. Android, on the other hand, doesn't matter who codes it. If Eddie codes an app, and Eddie
watch, spot, run,
and Eddie sucks at programming apps.
Thanks.
Well, you do.
You're lowering my self-esteem.
Well, but anyway, they would take his app and put it on the App Store for everybody to download and put on their phone.
Absolutely.
And then when everybody puts Eddie's got a cool idea and his icon's really cool looking, let's download that. That's got to be a cool app. And they download it and they install it, and then their phone craps. Mm-hmm. And then everybody's like, oh. But then that would never happen on the Apple device.
And it won't. And I'll say this too, as far as Apple, they tend to, and I think the reason why they do this is they want to put out a great product.
Well, Steve Jobs, they used to. Tim Cook came along, and I ain't got anything against Tim Cook, but he's not Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
And when the iPhone first came out, Steve Jobs, from what I understand, I never worked with the man, but from what I can understand, he was a tyrant to work for.
Yeah, I heard pretty hard.
He was not the most friendly of guys, and he expected.
Didn't he get kicked off his own board?
Yeah, he was kicked away from Apple for a long time, and then he came back. Yeah. And had he not come back, Apple would have not been here today.
Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely. I think it would have been gone for sure.
It would have been gone, but he came back, and he was a douchebag to work for.
Yep.
But he wanted it right, and he expected it right, and everybody knew. And I kind of prefer that kind of leadership skill. Right. I don't like leaders who, well, let's get a committee together and let's all vote and somebody make a choice and I second that motion. And I hate that. I want the leader who just says, it's that way. This is the way it is. Like it, don't like it, don't care.
Make it work.
Make it work, and don't bring it back to me till it works.
I love the little story that you told me about.
Yeah, something about he had a phone and they had made it and it wasn't big. It was it was too big, and they were like, "Well, we can't make it any smaller." And he threw it in a fish tank and it bubbled. And he said, "There's air bubbles coming out of it. You can make it smaller."
Ooh, that's pretty good.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
That's pretty bold.
So he didn't care. He didn't take anybody's crap, and it was his way or the highway.
Yeah.
Now, Tim Cook don't play that game. Tim Cook's a little bit more. And as you notice nowadays, Abe, you get these iPhones, and they're not as good out of the box as they one time were. They're pretty good, but the betas always crash. There's always something crazy. Jobs never even released a public beta.
Right. Well, that's the thing. They're releasing these betas. And that beta, it is testing software pretty much, and they're doing that to try to find the bugs so that but it's really bad perception from the customer side.
Yeah, because we see it crash and we're seeing it burn, and
you're like, okay, this is
no good.
Yeah, it's not like it used to be.
When all we really want it to do is work, and that's why we love Apple so much. It has a reputation of just working.
Let me ask you this, okay?
Go ahead, Millennial.
So, when you go into a restaurant and you go into the restroom, do you pay attention to see if it's clean or if it's dirty?
Well, yeah, of course.
Now, does it make a difference to you when it comes to the restaurant? Usually, if you think about it this way, if the bathroom's really clean, then the rest of the restaurant's really clean and they take care of stuff. Same way with iPhone or with the iOS and things like that. Compared to Android, you can tell that they make sure that the bathrooms are clean. Not really literally, but they make sure stuff is cleaned up and it looks nice. And I know they're doing the betas now, and I guess that's because, like you said, they want to get the bugs out. But it does look bad on iPhone when you have crashes.
Well, they're super polished too. That's another thing. I do believe I've got both phones, and I have apps, and some of the same apps. You'll run an app on the Apple, and it'd be the same app on an Android, and the Apple app just looks better. It just looks better. It's more polished. Now, that's not all the time. Every now and then I'll run on an Android app that looks better.
Yeah.
But not that often.
Not very often.
What I find weird is IT people actually have iPhones, because I would think an iPhone would be more towards, and I know stuff works, but more towards people who don't know how to do technology. And the reason why is because when you come to an Android, if you wanted to hack, as some of them would do, or whatever it is, and you can do illegal things with Android. I just figured more IT people would do that.
I think more IT people have Android phones. Most of the people we work with, I think, have Android.
Probably.
Most of them.
Yeah. Because they like to do that. They like to do all
customize. But
that's true.
They want the cool, weird backgrounds, and they want the cool colors, and they want different fonts and
icons.
things.
We know somebody that's like that, Billy.
And well, that's the thing. You do all that stuff, okay, and it's kind of cool and fun to tweak with that stuff. And then when your phone doesn't work when it needs to work, that's when you're like, okay, I just want a phone that works.
I'm assuming you've done that before?
Yes, I have.
Well, we know somebody too. I think Billy just bought a new phone, and
I heard he had hacked and done
or something.
Yeah,
he's got what I can't even say it now. Android.
He's got iOS icons and things.
So
he tried to make it look like an Apple phone. I think, but it's an Android. But and I understand where he's coming from. That's cool to be able to do that, and I think that's awesome. And when it does work, it's really something cool.
Yeah. Well, Abe said it before. If you can put iPhone, the actual hardware together with Android software, as far as like I guess maybe.
Oh yeah, combining the two.
It'd be best of both worlds kind of thing, but
that's never going to happen.
No,
because it is
competition's there.
We're dreaming about that. What about the AI differences?
Well, there's where Android shines. Siri sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Apple, love you, but you should have killed that bitch long ago.
Yeah.
Sorry, world. I get a little heated when it comes to that. You'll have to forgive me.
Right.
But you should have killed Siri long ago. She's horrible. She is the worst AI ever. When you ask her,
that's shocking.
It's horrible. When you ask her to hunt something on the web, she'll come up and say, "I found a website that you can go to and look at it." Well, I don't want to go to the website. I want you to read it to me.
Now, did Steve Jobs have this on there when he did it too?
No, I don't think so. No, he didn't.
This
came after.
Yeah.
Now, Google Assistant rocks.
Love it.
It's rock solid. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It is the AI. There is no other. And if Apple had any sense, they would say, Siri, they'd shoot her in the head, and they would literally, and they would go out and pay Google to use. And you can use Google's AI. You can use it on the phone, but it's not baked in.
I actually do use it because it's funny. My wife will be like trying to look up a phone number to someplace, and she'll be like, "Hey Siri, what's the phone number?" Well, I probably just activated a ton of people's phones.
Yeah.
Anyway, she'll say, find this phone number, and it'll be like, I found 4 phone numbers. Some of them are fairly close to you.
Yeah.
And then I'll pull up my Google on my iPhone. I'll be like, give me the phone number. And they'll be like, all right, do you want me to call it? Sure, yeah, let's call it.
Yeah, Google's assistant kicks Siri in the head.
It is nice.
They should literally that is the thing that makes me the most mad about the phone. I get pretty heated about these things, and I'm going to be honest. That is the worst.
It is annoying.
Damn thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, world, but hey, Apple, if you're listening, kill Siri. She's horrible.
Even the dictation.
She don't know nothing.
It's not really that great either.
No, it's awful.
I mean, it always changes my words, and sometimes it's not so pretty either.
You see that thing on Facebook a lot of times. It's some dude sitting at a table drinking coffee, and he's got a table there, and he just says something, and it says, "Change my mind." Okay, world, if you're listening, change my mind. Make me like Siri because I hate her.
Well, I mean, I wonder who out there actually likes Siri.
Nobody. Hell,
I know
Apple
you
doesn't
do.
like her.
I mean, I like Google. I think a lot of
the guy
people use
on the Big
Google
Bang
anyways.
Theory liked her.
He really
Raj. Oh, Raj.
Yeah, Raj.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was his date, wasn't it? It's the only girl he could talk to at the time.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to talk to her. She don't talk.
I do like Google Assistant also. I've got a actual Google Assistant in my living room or in my kitchen that has the screen on it. Then
I've got one of those.
Then I've got 2 of the smaller ones, and you can broadcast between the 2. And then the thing that I usually get annoyed by, the only thing I get annoyed by is whenever I say, okay, Google to the one, my phone just did it just now. But it hears me, and then it wants to. They'll both start playing music, and I'm like, oh. But
I've had that happen. Well, that's because Google knows you want it in stereo.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got one of those devices too, and Google owns YouTube TV. They own a lot of stuff, and so if you're a YouTube TV subscriber, you can tell that little thing, "Hey, I want to watch channel whatever," and boom, it'll start playing on the little thing, and that is cool.
And my wife's done it with Hulu a little bit too. She'll play stuff on there and watch movie or shows and stuff. But I'll tell you this: my dad, I bought him one. It wasn't the video one. It was just one of the little circle ones. And he had it in his living room. And I don't know if he accidentally said something, okay, Google, or something like that. I don't know. But
stop saying that.
Yeah, it's going to go off on people's phones. It's going to be funny.
It's supposed to be tuned to your voice. So if I was to say it shouldn't come on. Matter of fact, when you said that a while ago, my phone didn't activate.
That's because your phone can't hear it. We got earphones on.
That's true.
But what's funny is it went off in the middle of the night, and it freaked him out. He unplugged it and threw that thing in the closet. It scared him. He thought it was possessed.
And the reason why I think Siri doesn't do as well as Google Assistant is because of the privacy.
Well, that may be true.
Apple
is so private. They're so private, nobody can unlock these.
Exactly.
It's not even the government.
And they really take not trying to use your personal information for things. And because they don't do that, I think that's why Siri is a lot worse.
Yeah.
because Google, it tracks everything.
Well, yeah, you can go on the website. We can be talking about microphones.
Yeah,
and you'll see all kinds of advertisements for microphones, and they're always listening. They have to be, because how would they know when I said
the keyword
to turn them on? They're always listening.
Okay, Thaddeus.
Yeah, okay, Thaddeus. That's what you need, Eddie. You need the Claudius. Okay, Claudius.
Yeah, you can say it back to me.
Yeah. Just rename your assistant Claudius.
Yeah, rename your assistant Claudius. Probably on an Android. You can do anything.
You have to say okay.
I don't know. You could you could change it and say, "What's up, Claudius?"
What's the other one? What's the other one? Alexa. Is it just, what do you say to that one? Is
Alexa.
Oh,
Bing, now we just set off everybody's that's not good.
What else? What else?
Abe, you're worried about, we don't have but 3 listeners. So, and my wife doesn't own an Alexa, so therefore that's not going to work.
That's funny.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, it's pretty nice, though. It's getting to a point where you can do those. Like, I guess, I don't know if you can do your lights. I guess you can.
Oh, yeah. The home automation right now is huge. I mean,
that's cool.
Unfortunately, there's so many different companies producing things that it's not all well put together.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, the iPhone can control your lights, and they can control your garage door, and it can control your thermostat. But some of those companies don't work as well with Apple or Android.
And one day they're all going to take over
and turn your thermostat down to freezing.
Terminators are
in the middle of the night. We're going to turn your thermostat to hell, and you're going to become melted.
Well, that sounds pleasant. That's why you shouldn't go to iPhone.
Hey, Claudius.
Hey, Claudius, turn the thermostat down.
Okay, Claudius, please. If you don't know about Claudius, you need to go back and listen to one of our podcasts. Which one? Do you know which one it was?
I think it was
Valentine's Day. It was.
Yeah.
Check it out, because then you'll be like, okay,
Claudius,
I'm in the group.
Turn the thermostat down. I'm melting.
I'm sorry, Eddie. I died 2,000 years ago.
I'm dead. I'm sorry. I can't help you.
But I found 3 other people that are close to you that could save you.
Thanks, funny. Claudius. You're my best friend. You're my only friend.
What was it you said one time? We can't say it on this podcast, but it was something about a doctor. You could
I'm
say
not getting into that one.
Hey, we found 5 of those, and 3 of them are nearby, and 2 of them take your insurance. Would you like for me to call them?
Was that Siri or was that Google?
No, that's Google.
That was Google.
Well, actually, that was Siri. No,
it was Google.
Siri's the one that does that.
Oh, okay. Well,
I found 5 fairly close to you.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm not going to show you any of them.
I don't even use Siri.
Yeah.
I refuse.
I only use it for the dictation.
I use it at all.
I can't stand to type.
I just don't use that.
I see these people, man, they're typing like 100 miles an hour on their thumbs, and I'm like I can't do that. I just have to talk to it.
Do y'all ever do that? I've got some questions here that you would ask.
Are these the fun facts? Is it time for that, Craig?
No. Well, kinda. Yes.
Okay. I'm back, Millennial.
We're sorry,
Fun facts
world.
with Millennial.
We're sorry. I'm going to have to create a jingle. Fun facts with the Millennial.
So I'm going to do it different. I want to give you these right here because they're good. Oh, you did a good job at that. I thought it was him. I was like, his hand didn't even touch it.
I'll do it for you.
You could be like a human effects person.
It's fun facts with the Millennial. This is the time in the podcast. If you need to go to the bathroom, or if you would like to take a break, now would be the time.
Check on Claudius.
Yeah. So halftime. But now, okay, I got a couple things, but I do want to say these. Okay.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
So you can ask Siri, "Are you married?" Mm-hmm. And she'll say, "It seems the whole world is concerned about my relationships."
Yeah,
it's kind of
that before.
Can you drive? Maybe you should ask Kit about that.
Oh, that's cool.
I bet you have no idea what that means.
Kit, it's from that talking car. Yeah.
Well, do you? Oh my God.
Yeah.
What was the talking car's name?
Kit,
dummy.
I was going to say Kit. Well, you confused me because I thought it's Kit.
What was the show's name?
Come on.
Ryder.
Close.
I'm right on it. I know it, but I just can't think of it right now.
Knight Rider.
I knew it. I was going to say Dark Rider for some reason.
Dark Rider.
I used to love that show.
Claudius Rider.
Yeah. Here's another one. Of course, I don't condone this. I don't do this, but it says, "I'm drunk. Can you drive?" Don't expect me to get you home.
Okay.
Anna. Apparently Anna's the one doing this.
And if it was a Google Assistant, Google would say, "Well, sure, let me call a taxi for you." Yeah,
let me get an Uber.
Or an Uber, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Siri's like, I'm sorry, I can't do that
I'm not
for
taking you home, you drunk.
do aliens exist? Maybe you should ask your parents. I don't understand that.
Well, she's basically throwing a thing at you saying you're weird.
Yeah, apparently. Will I die alone? We come into existence alone and we leave it alone, so you're not alone there. That's nice, I guess. Can you make me laugh? I don't think you'd understand a joke in my language. They're not so funny anyway. These are not as cool.
Well, they speak machine language, and if anybody knows anything about assembly code or machine language, it is not funny.
No, no, not at all.
What is the meaning of life? A principle of force that is considered to be underlying and distinctive quality of animate beings. I guess that includes me. I was really into that moment. Siri made me feel that heart moment, okay? Do you have kids or do you want kids? I have everything I need in the cloud. That's about everybody nowadays.
Yeah, everybody has things in the cloud.
Will you be my friend? See, Claudius is my friend. So, will you be my friend? That's nice. I'd like to be your friend. So is Siri y'all's friend?
No.
Absolutely
but
not.
Claudius, I'm going to see if I can change that. Man,
You need to fix that.
Billy will tell you how.
Yeah. So I want to do a little bit of history real quick.
Oh, gosh. Come on.
I'm sorry.
It's
this
not
is halftime.
supposed to be instructional. So.
Okay, so Android. I'm going to do Android and iPhone, okay? Android Inc. was founded in Palo Alto, California. I'll be honest.
Inc.
You were talking about this earlier. I thought it was...
What'd you say?
Android Inc.
What the heck?
That's what it says. I don't know. But I thought for a moment, because I relate Samsung kind of with Android a little bit, I thought it was made in Japan, to be honest. And I was kind of shocked when I read that. But
South Korea, yeah.
It was made in October 2003 by Andy Rubin.
Yeah, that's the founder.
Rich Miner and Nick Spears and much people describe the Android project as tremendous potential in developing smarter mobile devices that are more aware of their owners' locations.
Oh yeah, it knows
so
everything.
they really wanted to do that. That's pretty cool because that's kind of their thing, ain't it?
Yeah.
Google Assistant, they like to know your location so they can pretty much watch you everywhere you're going.
I don't know if you've ever. There's a movie out there that
with Shia LaBeouf. Is it Shia LaBeouf?
No. It's actually.
Let me guess. It's a Star Wars movie.
No. It's a movie about a guy that kind of, for lack of a better word, falls in love with his operating system. And I'm trying to remember the name.
Ex
of it.
Machina, something.
The lawnmower guy.
And it was really weird. It's like he got picked for this particular operating system, and it knew everything about him, everything he liked, everything. I mean, it was just.
Was it a Black Mirror episode?
No, I can't. I'm thinking it's the dude that plays in the Walk the Line.
Joaquin Phoenix.
I could have swore it was him. It was either him or Ewan McGregor. One. I can't remember which one it was, but
both great actors.
It was a really good movie. It was kind of weird, but
one's crazy though.
Okay, enough of the fun facts.
No.
Hurry.
I got one more.
We're running out of time.
Do an iPhone for you all.
Oh Lord.
So everybody came back because they thought we were done. Everybody thought we were done, so they're coming back. So the iPhone.
Lord.
Colloquially known
That's why you don't have an Apple.
known as the iPhone 2G and iPhone 1 after 2008 to differentiate it from later models. It is the first smartphone designed and marketed by Apple Inc. After years of rumors and speculation, it was officially announced on January 9, 2007.
I remember that day.
And was later released in the United States in 2007. There was one other thing I thought I was going to tell you in this.
That's all we need to know.
Oh, there's so much.
We don't want to bore our listeners.
No, they need to know history.
They don't want to know your history.
Claudius.
I remember that day because I remember seeing him on stage, and I remember him, back then everything was Windows CE devices, and it was kind of like Windows. You click start, you click this, you click that, and, it was really not very fluid. And when he got up on that stage and he opened up his contacts and he scrolled them, everybody lost it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
And when he pinched to zoom on a photo, everybody lost it.
I can see you. Oh, my
Listen, Steve Jobs was such a salesman and such a charismatic person on the stage.
Absolutely.
He literally could have unveiled a steaming pile of crap. I'm not lying. I'm not joking. He could have unveiled a steaming pile of crap, and everybody in this world would have wanted it.
And have one sitting on their nightstand.
And I know there's a few people out there right now going, he did. He released the iPhone.
Except me. I'm Android.
Yeah,
well, you're strange.
You are a millennial. So
yeah, there you go. And matter of fact, you and the other millennial that I know from work are Android users.
Name his name. Who is it?
It would be Shane.
Shane, my buddy.
He's an Android guy too.
Us millennials got to stick together.
But then again,
bunch of freaks.
Hey,
Patty is an Android person. She will not even talk Apple.
Mike Heel.
Me and Greg Widener.
Mike Heel, he told me this. He said, "Man, I need
Brandy."
He said, "I need to come on there and help you, Eddie. Millennials are getting a bad rap, and he wants to help me out because I get jumped on by both of you."
Well, there is no help from
my daughter. Said
I need your help, Mike.
You.
What now?
My daughter says we're bullying you.
Thank you, Zoe.
I told her, yeah, we are, but, it's for fun.
Somebody has to bully you.
Yeah.
We're just trying to make you tougher.
Maybe we need to talk about bullying one day.
We're trying to help you.
We're trying to help you, Claudius.
Because in the real world, it's not nice.
That's right.
Claudius is my
So anyway,
friend.
getting back on subject. So
anyways.
Getting into accessories. Apple has come out with some fabulous
you got
earbuds.
The Apple Watch.
Oh, yeah.
You got the earbuds.
Yep.
Everything works together really well, and the earbuds sound fabulous. The
Absolutely.
AirPods, even the regular ones, the Pros.
Yep.
I got to be honest, not a lot of difference, I don't think.
Right.
Of course, my ears are old.
Yeah, you can't hear no more.
Yeah, that's right. But I can't tell a big difference. I know that they do have the noise cancellation in the Pros.
Right.
To be honest with you, that's not working well now. I think they released a firmware something that screwed it up, so they got to fix that. But anyway, they release good products and usually work well together.
Right.
Android releases products that work pretty good together, but I got to be honest with you, Millennial drags out his
Samsung
Galaxy earbuds, and they probably sound like I've got 10 cans on my ears.
Be honest, they do sound really good, but
they sound like crap.
Whoever told you that apparently didn't listen to them.
Well, I've heard that from a lot of people.
They sound good, really.
They sound okay. I've listened to them,
but
not as good as these.
You're talking about Android Pair over there? Yeah, they do sound pretty good.
These are not Android.
Those are Pros.
Those off-brand?
No, these are Pros.
Well, those are his addiction.
Now, see, I wasn't going to go all the way with them. I do get annoyed with these a little bit. Because
what about?
Sometimes the left ear, there's an issue where it'll bzzz, and then you have to reset them. So I do get
that Android part of it.
Yeah. But I do like these. I like the fact you can put earbuds in your ears now. I like the fact that we've gotten that far. We don't have to have a big old headset or something on. So, but I like these pretty good. And they do a lot. You could do OK Google. What do you have? Do you do OK Google with yours? I went off again. Do you do that with yours? Like,
no, they're Apple.
I know. So what do you use?
We don't talk to our assistant.
I don't talk to our assistant because she's dumb.
Yeah. Exactly. So mine's better.
I don't have to talk to assistant.
Claudius,
I'm smart enough to know how to operate it myself. I don't need help.
Claudius knows what I need.
Apparently.
I say, okay, Claudius, and he says, okay, I'll call so-and-so.
He says, okay, but you can't hear him in them crappy earphones you got.
You can't. You can't vouch for. You never used them.
Even the Apple Watch, the cool thing about it is if you own a MacBook, and you're going to boot it up to log into it unlocks it for you automatically.
Oh, that's cool.
Just so cool, man.
I will say this. I do like an Apple Watch. I wanted one. I know it don't work as well with my phone.
If you do ever get a Series 5 or whatever newer at the time.
Yeah.
Because the only bad thing about buying an Apple Watch, they're so expensive, and it's a watch.
Yeah.
And I know it does other things, and it's getting smarter, obviously, with the heart stuff and all that thing. So that's kind of cool.
It's getting smarter, and we're getting dumber.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, we spend lots of money for them, then we have to upgrade them every other year.
Well,
so it's like,
now you get the cool thing when you go out and about. You do the Apple Pay and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which is a cool thing.
That's a lot of.
Yeah, cool. We were up at where I work the other day, and. Here he comes, we go get breakfast over the cafeteria.
That was cool, yeah.
And he comes over there and he sits down and he goes over to the Coke machine and he
Waves
Waves his watch in front of it.
Shows everybody. Look what I got.
Spits out a 7-Up or something, you know.
Yeah,
and
man, that's cool as crap.
Yeah.
It is pretty cool.
That's the way the whole world is. I really get aggravated with Walmart because they will not allow Apple Pay
Hot take
or
right
Android, Google Pay. They want their own stupid crap because they want to know everything that you're buying.
Yeah, so that they can market.
And if they want to do that, get them do a loyalty card that gives you some discounts. Then people will use that still. But come on, get with it. Get with the future. Get away from the barcode crap.
Let's face it, it ain't gonna matter. Walmart and all the other shops in the world are going away. Now Amazon's sending everybody home. Walmart now, I'm gonna tell you what I think. Walmart in the future won't be a store that you go into to buy anything.
No.
All it will be is a warehouse.
Yep.
You will call in your order, you get on there and do your order online,
Yep.
and you'll pick it up at your local Walmart store because that'll be a distribution center.
I don't even think it'll be that. I think that it's getting to the point, and it is already in some cities, it'll be delivered to your door within an hour or two.
Well, and that's true, and they'll do it because there's a Walmart in every corner of the world.
Yeah, 2 or 3
So
sometimes.
you're right, Abe, and that's a shame. The mall that we have here in our little town, shops are leaving it left and right, and eventually there's not going to be a mall. There's not going to be
it's kind of sad.
Walmart. There's going to be nowhere to go to buy anything. So on Saturday, there's not going to be. Let's get up and go to the mall, and let's go to Walmart because they're not there.
Let's get up and walk to our desk.
Let's get up and pick up our phone and
go to our couch,
order our cat food and wait for them to deliver it here at the house after a while. And we're never leaving home.
It's crazy because people are becoming less social, and that's going to make it even worse. People are going to be like, I didn't even know what you look like. And
I'm going to be honest with you. The world is. I love online shopping. Don't get me wrong; it's cool, but it is flat ruining brick and mortar businesses, and there's not in the future. There's not going to be anywhere to go to buy anything. You will order it online, and
that's
it will
the
come
only
to your
bad
door.
thing.
And people says, "Well, I love that. Well, yep.
It's
You mean to
okay.
tell me you don't like going to the store, period?
Yeah, at least
you
get
don't
out.
like to go to Walmart and hang out and look around.
Yeah,
You don't,
too.
or Target or whatever your store of choice is. You don't. Do you like to order your clothes online? You don't like to try them on. You just take it for granted that that's the size you wear, and you get it home, and it won't even fit your hind end, and then you got to send it back. I don't want to do that. My electronics. I don't want to look it up on YouTube and look it up on
somebody else.
Watch somebody else play with it, and then I think I like that, and then I order it and I get it, and I don't really like it because it's too heavy.
Yeah,
or it's I didn't get to hold it. I didn't get to touch it.
That's the only part about it I don't like. I like to be able to touch the device before I buy it because there's some things you just can't get without actually touching the device.
I guess I'm just old school. I'm just not into this online ordering. To me, it's just people being lazy. I'm just too damn lazy to go to the store.
To me, the only online thing I would do is maybe towards Christmas.
And what they'll do is they'll say, "Oh, well, I'm not lazy. I can get so much other stuff done because I don't have." Well, if you're that busy, maybe you need to think about things.
Well, the one thing I can say is when you do the Walmart grocery thing, I do save money because usually you go into Walmart, you don't just buy groceries.
Well, that's absolutely you spend $40.
So I'm really surprised Walmart does that, to be honest, because it really kind of takes away from their sales.
Well, it's almost like gas stations. They don't want you just stopping in and buying gas. They want you to come in the store and buy a Coke. And so why they take credit cards at the pump is kind of weird.
It is kind of weird too. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
It is funny because I'll go in and I walk out and I'm like, I didn't mean to spend $75. I meant to just come in here and get some bread, and you end up having
look up that fun fact.
Yeah.
What's the average money that you spend at Walmart when you visit?
Kidding.
Yeah, when you walk in. I think they should just charge a cover charge to get in the place.
Well, anyway, like I said, there's a lot of nice accessories, and Android has some too. Like you said, the Google Home stuff and all that.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So there's lots of really cool accessories, and really it's a preference of certain things. With Apple, you get something that's nice, it's fluid, it works, it's private, your stuff's private. With Android, you get to customize, you get to do other things, you can learn your habits.
You get applications that will not run on an iPhone because Apple won't release them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that in a bad context. There are some applications out there that
I like the emulators, and I hate that
the emulators. If you're an IPTV junkie, you can get IPTV apps for the Android that you can't really get for
that's true
the Apple device.
Yeah.
So
goods and bads on both.
Goods and bads on both, really and truly. So that brings us to the question of the day. Question of the day for everybody listening would be, which do you prefer? Are you an Apple or are you an Android?
Rebel.
So which do you prefer? and so really go to our website, go to our Facebook page, go to our Twitter page, and let us know. Yeah. Let us know which you prefer and why. And so, I mean, that'll help us to learn too. And if you leave us a comment, we may mention it on the next podcast.
Mention your name, yeah.
So leave us a comment. Let us know which you prefer and why.
Yeah.
And so that's the question of the day. And so going around the table, starting with the millennial, which do you prefer and why?
Well, light versus dark. I'm going to prefer light, which is the Rebels, not the Empire. So that is Android.
He likes the blue lightsabers.
So he is an Android fan. He couldn't tell us why, but nevertheless.
I like it because it's cool.
He likes it for the customizations that he don't even know how to do.
Yeah, I can customize it by
but he don't know how. So there you go. All right, Abe.
I mean, I'm an Apple fan all the way. I mean, I've always been. I dabble in the dark arts of Android every once in a while, but
dark arts. It's the light side, dude.
But what's funny about it is every time I do use an Android device, and I do like the Pixel and stuff, but I always get frustrated with something and go back to the Apple. Always, every single time.
Yeah. For me, for the Fossil, everybody knows I done made it plain. Yeah. I'm an Apple fan. True Apple fan from the floor up. I do own an Android device. I own a Samsung Galaxy S10, and I literally do nothing with it. Yeah. It stays in my car half the time, and it's dead. And
I'm still trying to sell a Pixel if anybody wants one.
I charge it every now and then. I do an update on it every now and then just to make sure I keep it kind of current. But that's it. I do not use it for anything. And when I do use it, I get frustrated with it
and go back
to the Apple.
You know, you're not true Sith Lords, Dan. Okay? You know what you are? You are a gray Jedis. You're in the middle. You like kind of both. So you're like kind of dark.
Like I said,
I am not anything Star Trek.
You're a gray
Star
Jedi.
Wars related.
Well, what are you in Star Trek then?
I'm
Starfleet.
James Kirk.
Yeah.
And I'm fixing to kick you in the hind end.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, Kirk would whoop your hiney.
Yeah.
There you go.
Spock would give me the Vulcan pinch or something.
I wish he would. I wish I could do that. I would put you to sleep every time I see
Darth
you.
Vader would give you the
He wouldn't say anything on the podcast.
Listen, Darth Vader or Baby Yoda would just give you one of them little choke things, you know?
Oh, Lord, don't get into the Baby Yoda stuff.
Whatever.
Sorry, spoiler to anybody who hadn't watched it. Anyways, yeah. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, we're glad. Okay, well, with that being said, remember, again, we do this after every podcast and sometimes before. Please leave us a comment. Visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/straytopics, STRAYTOPIX. And our Twitter page at twitter.com/straytopics. You can also visit us at our webpage, straytopics.com. And you can listen to us on a variety of different providers: Spotify, iTunes, Google, Google Podcast, Google Music.
Music, yeah. It's on there too.
Google Play Music, iHeartRadio.
We're everywhere.
iTunes, iTunes. You can do that, but what is it? Tune in,
Apple Podcast.
Yeah. How many can you name?
A bunch.
About everything.
And there's others.
Yeah, there's others. You can also get to our RSS feed at the bottom of our page at straytopics.com and go there. You can also find us at podbean.com, podbean.com/straytopics. And what we'd like for you to do, if you are a friend of Stray Topics or if you listen to Stray Topics, tell others. The only way that we get this podcast off the ground is with your help.
Yep, absolutely.
We have no other way of promoting this podcast. We are not making any money. We're not even trying to make money on this thing. Right. We're just trying to get it off the ground to see who actually is listening.
Listen, sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. So if you listen, or if you're a friend, tell others. Tell your other friends that may not know about us that, hey, we listen to these guys and they're a little bit crazy, and or they're boring or whatever, and just
don't say that. We're not boring. We're exciting.
Tell them that there's this millennial that's on this thing, and
Lord.
he's an idiot. And he's got all kinds of fun facts, and he knows this guy from the
you can learn
way back. Anyway, Claudius.
They can get a degree at the fun facts of millennial.
Yeah,
or whatever.
But anyway, let your friends know so that they can listen as well, and maybe they can friend us. So and share us if you're a friend of ours. Share us on your Facebook page so that your friends can subscribe as well. We really appreciate y'all listening. All the people that do listen, California, New York, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Florida, Georgia, all the states that are listening that we can see on our stats. We really appreciate it, and we really appreciate it. We just want you to continue to listen to us and give us some feedback. Let us know how we're doing. Give us some topics so that we can continue to do this. So, with that being said, anybody got anything else?
Nope, that's it for me.
Good to go.
All right. Well, I'm Troy.
I'm Abe.
And this is the Millennial.
And we will see you all next time on
The Straight Topics.